What's up, everybody? Now let's sip this tea. Now, y'all, I'm going to talk about season 5 of the rap game because I did do a video about a year ago about the rap game and it went viral and the editing is horrible and it's just a horrible first time video. So please do not go look at that. However, because of the comments that I was getting on that old video, I was like, so maybe they want me to talk about season 5. So I wasn't going to watch it, but then I was like, oh, what the hell? I had all these episodes recorded and then I binge watched it. And child, let me tell you, I got my whole entire life with season 5. Now, season 5 is the most ratchet season of all the seasons ever. I went through so many emotions looking at these episodes. I went from, oh my God, look, those are cute relationship goals, to, oh my God, this woman got a tumor, she got cancer, to, oh my God, Jemaine Dupree sending people home, to, oh my God, he ain't playing no games, they got a battle rap every fucking episode. Now I gotta tell you guys, this season is unlike any other season, whereas one person stood out, or maybe even two people stood out, as being like the superstars of the season. Like season 1, Mulatto blew everyone out of the water. Season 2, everybody's still trying to figure out how Monty ass won. Season 3, it was between Deetranada and Nova. They were both powerhouses. And season 4, it was kind of a toss-up. Street Bud was cute and creative, and that's what JD was looking for at the time. And now on season 5, the one person that actually does stand out just a tad bit is Nia Kassan. Nia Kassan has the it look. She has the afro going. She's very beautiful, and her skills match her look. So if I could say one person that was a standout from season 5, it would be Nia Kassan. But JD went on Sister Circle and he said that he was so disappointed in the season and he feels like he was catfished.
You can see my frustration for the first time. Really? Cause this season I feel like I was catfished.
What you mean? What you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. That was so. What you mean?
The way I pick these kids is that I go off of our audience. This group wasn't really that good.
Why?
And I was really frustrated. And you see it. And the thing about this show is it's not a reality show that's scripted.
Right.
It happens based off my heart. What happens based off my heart. And once I was sitting there, I was just like, oh my God, well, you gotta battle this person. You gotta battle this person. If y'all wanna stay in the house, y'all gotta battle. It just turned into this whirlwind of just me trying to see who's definitely better than the next person.
So, honey, what kind of advice do you give the kids?
Our audience. This group wasn't really that good.
Why?
And I was really frustrated. And you see it. And the thing about this show is it's not a reality show that's scripted.
Right.
It happens based off my heart. What happens based off my heart. And once I was sitting there, I was just like, oh my God, well, you gotta battle this person. And once I was sitting there, I was just like, oh my God, well, you gotta battle this person. You gotta battle this person. If y'all wanna stay in the house, y'all gotta battle. It just turned into this whirlwind of just me trying to see who's definitely better than the next person.
So, honey, what kind of advice do you give the kids and their parents? Yes.
Okay, so y'all heard Jemaine Dupree. After his first time meeting with him, he was ready to say F it all, and he started pulling all these tricks out of his bag because he felt like this group was not as good as the other groups that have come along. While I agree with that narrative, I will say that these candidates are very talented, and with a little polishing up, they will be great, you know. And JD, you need to work a little harder when you get these artists because you don't really do anything with them. They grow themselves off of mainly IG. We've seen some of your best turn into IG models and what have you.
Hey, so that is exclusive. Period. Too much ass. Too much ass. Hey.
Okay, then you had this same season 1 superstar coming out and saying that you ain't did a bitch ass thing for her, JD.
JD ain't make a bitch ass thing underscore light skin, right? Bitch, JD made you watch your fucking television. If he did anything, he ain't do nothing for me. Period. Yes, my daddy's still my manager. Yeah, he picked me. The fuck did that? Yeah, he picked me. The fuck that? Telling somebody, oh, you won, that's not going to secure the bag for them. If that's the case, then, like, bro, come on now. If that's, bro, I'm not even finna be shady, but he ain't make shit. Everything I've done is because of me, period. I'm independent, pendant. Everything I got is me and my daddy, my manager, my mama help with all my shit too. It's me and my family shit. Ain't nobody else. For real, Chance. Where the fucking tour checks at though? Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. Supposed to be acting like they just so up. But can't even pay kids for a tour that you had their ass go on.
All right, y'all, so let's talk about this So Summer 17 tour, which featured all the kids of the rap game with Mulatto, Monty, and Nova as like the top acts, and all the kids that didn't win the competition as the opening acts. Now, while this sounds like a good idea in theory, because the rap game has such high numbers, this was proof that IG fame and a little bit of TV time does not make you superstars, because JD later came back and said that the ticket sales were so poor that he couldn't afford to pay these kids what they said that they were going on tour for at the beginning. So these kids left the tour, tired, defeated, and unpaid. And his only excuse was he was trying to give them an opportunity to see the world and do something constructive over the summer instead of being out on the streets. Now, all that is fine, but if you sit down and you agree on a certain number to get paid for this child to perform, business is business. But he couldn't pay them because the ticket sales were actually terrible. Looking back at it, I think the only sold out city was probably Baltimore, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. So let's just get back to season 5. After everything that happened with the tour, I would have been skeptical coming into a competition like this anyways. Then JD comes out and says that this group is not good because he does not want to put in the extra work of artist development, which doesn't exist nowadays because you can get on Instagram and develop yourself. But he wants an already made star. I can tell by that interview that's exactly what he meant. So going back to season 5, I'm just going to quickly introduce the cast. So it's this young man named Sire. He has a lot of energy. And if he reminds me of anyone from any of the previous seasons, I would say maybe the Prince of New York, okay? Because he's lyrical and he can really spit and he's high energy. Then we have Nia Kassan that kind of reminds me of Deetranada. Tyler Rain that really doesn't remind me of anybody from previous seasons. Then we have Eli, who is the rap game's first black white guy. And what I mean by that is the dude in school, you know, the white guy in school that used to wear the Air Force Ones, that would be Eli. Then we have this girl who kind of reminds me of a young Luma D. And unfortunately, she's the source of a lot of jokes in the house, mainly fat jokes. And it's kind of the elephant in the room, no pun intended. But JD has her do like exercises and stuff like that and trying to whip this cast into shape. I'm telling you, he was doing whatever he can because he felt so unsatisfied with the cast. Okay, now like I already explained, the thing about this cast is he made them battle every single week. So it was hard for these cast members to make friendships in this house. Everyone was against each other and the tension was always high. Every time that I tuned into a new episode, I could tell that the tension was high. People would say they were friends, but then they would turn around and throw low blows behind the back and stuff like this. And it was the worst I've seen this season. So JD doesn't get no cool points from me from turning everybody in this house into a daggone enemy. I mean, he had sons about to fight fathers. Okay, like the opposite father. Sire was really about to lay hands last week on Eli's father. Like, he don't get no cool points from me for making everybody want to fight this season. And when you talk about people weight issues in a battle, and when you talk about people's mother who had, addiction issues and diabetic needles, and you gonna stick it in your brother's eyes and stuff like that, that ain't cool for kids to talk about. Kids need to stay in a kid's place. I understand they're battling, but when you talk about grown people issues, it shouldn't have been warranted within the house. It just made for bad blood. All right, y'all. So because of this, the families, the parents, the kids, they were arguing every single week after the rap game aired. I mean, arguing about racism, arguing about who liked who and who didn't like who. I ain't never seen this much ratchet mess in the world. Somebody was even saying that you hit your wife at home. How would y'all know what possibly goes on at home when these rap game cameras ain't there?
For a couple days. Like, we went on vacation a couple days after that. I was heated, bro, because what had happened, right, is they were having a conversation about me back at the house. It was our interview day, right? So I was at the So Def studio. Okay, this is the tea for you guys. By the way, it's no beef between me and Sire at this point, so y'all don't try and start that. I'm just going to explain the situation because it was on national television, so I'm not going to ignore it, right? So I was at the So Def studio doing my interview, right? And my dad was at the house, and he was the only one there. And so, hit me up when you're in Atlanta Street. I'm in Atlanta, like, pretty much every weekend. So we got a link for sure. But, back to the subject. I was all the way down, I lost my train of thought. I was down at the So Def studio, and they were talking about me at the house. So they drove my dad back to the house to have him involved in that conversation. My mom just walked in. Okay, they drove my dad back to the house to be involved in that conversation, and then, of course, you guys saw how it escalated, and then at one point, Sire tried to fight my dad. He started bucking up to my dad. So it was a pretty crazy situation, and I can't say that it was smart not having me in the house because I can't tell you how I would have reacted having somebody try to fight my father, and it wouldn't have definitely been a good situation. Me and Sire are still good. We're on speaking terms at this point, but I can't tell you how it would have went otherwise. But, yeah, so that was pretty crazy. I just wanted to give you guys that little bit of tea. And as I did, bro, like 200 other people just joined. Wait, your mom is there? Yeah, my mom comes and watches every episode with me. So, what's your SoundCloud? My SoundCloud is Eli Triplet. Also, if you just want to click the link in my bio, that would be a whole lot easier. Somebody said, are you scared of Sire because he been blowing up to you and you just sit there? Like I said, hit him. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of that, but no, I'm not scared of anybody, but I'm also not trying to fight. I'm not the type of person to just, especially when I'm on national TV with all that money. And also, don't bring this to Sire like, yo, I'm talking bad about him. I'm talking about the situation because it happened on national television, and I'm going to address it. I'm not going to ignore the situation. But me and Sire are cool.
Sire just turned 15. He was 14 on the show. I don't know why, for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but there's not one scene of Jemaine giving him praise, and Jemaine praised that boy every day on the show. Every day, Jemaine was like, I forget you're 14, because he would talk to him like he was a grown man. They would have grown men conversations, like his vocabulary is so broad. I would be like, nigga, I'm gonna need you to talk to me like I'm dumb, because sometimes he would say shit to me, and I'd be like, it's too early in the morning. Like, like for real, like he's extremely intelligent. He's extremely articulate. His vocabulary is extremely broad. Like, he's dope. Like, Sire's dope. Y'all think Amaya's a lyricist? Sire can run ring around rappers right now that got hits on Billboard right now. Like, Sire's that dope.
Sire's that dope. Like, this was okay.
This was the dumbest season ever. But guess what? You watched the dumbest season ever, dumbass. So, like, why make a comment? You need something to say? You bored with your life?
None of you should have a talk show for real. I know, right?
All right, y'all. Now, y'all saw that. Now, when I tell y'all that Amaya was the underdog and she was constantly picked on, I am not kidding. Now, she said her best friend in the house was Tyler Rain. But tell me, when Amaya won #1, Tyler Rain was like, oh my God, I can't believe this shit. She's so whack. Throwing up her hands and stuff like that. Shouted, that ain't no best friend. And Amaya was just sitting there like, Okay. When I tell you they bullied this girl, I'm not even playing. They bullied poor Amaya. Now, it was one episode where Amaya had a great rap and she rapped it all the way through and she finally did not mess up. And everyone in the house claimed that her rap was pre-written. And I mean, they were talking trash about this poor little girl all day long, talking about some her rap wasn't all that anyway and how she memorized it that fast and blah blah blah. So I was thinking maybe they would let up, but y'all, up until Amaya had to battle Tyler Rain, they never let up with how they felt about her. So after the episode, Amaya gets on Instagram to say how she really feels, and this sparked yet another argument between the parents who can't seem to stay in their place within this competition. They're arguing more than the actual kids are arguing. So amidst all of this, JD starts sending people home, and the first person to go home was Amaya. No secret there. And the second person to go home, spoiler alert, was Eli. No secret there either. This was calculated and you guys knew this was going to happen. So the season finale is supposed to come up with the 3 people going into the season finale, which is going to be Sire, Nia Kassan, and Tyler Rain. And I can't say that they aren't the 3 best in the house. Obviously they are, and I wish them all the luck, but this has been the most ratchet season ever, and I feel like this show has ran its course. We all know that after this season, whoever wins, their career is not going to pop off, because we're still waiting on Street Bud to pop off. We're still waiting on Nova to pop off. We're still waiting on Monty to pop off. So we're pretty much over this show, and I feel like it's ran its course. If you guys are not going to go on another tour, if you guys are not gonna pop, something, then there's no need to continue to keep doing this show. But that's just how I feel. I feel like the show has ran its course. What do you guys think? And leave a comment as always.